Hey, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed your reading. Well, hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed your reading. I don't know, maybe somebody's listening to more readings than usual. Just trying to get some understanding. The first card that came up, I'm sorry. Welcome to Sacred Soulmates. I'm your goddess Euphoria. The first card is, I don't have none of that long intro shit. The first card is impatience, and which is appropriate for the way that I opened up this reading, because it's like it's so much that's happening right now, and you may be trying to figure out a way to put words to it or to verbalize it or to make it concrete, to make it tangible, versus something that's just up in the air. I feel a lot of energy of people trying to ground things right now, but at the same time it's like you have, you may have, a few people like kind of circling you. I talked about that, people orbiting you. Deliverance, excuse me. I don't remember if it was on this channel or my 828 Prophecies channel, but recently I was talking about like people orbiting you and kind of just want to follow what you do, but they ain't put in no real work. It's just like, you've been had motion, you've been doing things, and all of a sudden here they come wanting to jump in at the ass end and ride your coattail. So it's that type of energy. So it's like an impatience of people, like they want to talk to you or they want to say something to you, or people coming around trying to find a reason to get in contact with you. It could translate into like old exes, situationships and stuff, trying to reach out to you, calling you, sending you text message, drunk text, shit like that, wanting to pass a message along through somebody else to try to make contact with you, because they can just sense that there's something big going on in your life, something big associated with your ascension process. And that blue is the throat chakra. So the crowning of this reading is about communication. You can have a lot of different forms of communication happening at this time. And because it's in the crown chakra, it's like more than just, mouth to mouth, face to face conversations. Like you could be having dreams right now that expose things, or just, premonitions, deja vu type stuff, like those type of like higher spiritual realm forms of communication right now that are leading you. And it's because you are right there on the precipice of something big, like in terms of like a soulmate connection. I talked before about how once you get into divine timing, it's a frequency, and once you're in that divine timing, like the right things come to you. And since I posted that reading, I've been seeing so many different instances of people who are not on divine timing and they're missing me for some reason or another. It's just like they just can't. I call them can't get right. It don't matter what they doing. It's never enough. It's never meeting my standards. It's never, just what I need it to be. Not because I'm haughty, not because I'm looking at people and looking down on them, but it's just where I am today spiritually is like, that's not enough. That's not enough for me to break the seal on my boundaries and allow you in. So it's like people right now trying to figure out a way that they can kind of break the seal on what you have protected yourself with, meaning your spiritual boundaries, or even your spirit guides and ancestral guides who are standing around you. And there's a lot of people who want to they just want to touch it. I just heard, let me just put the tip in. So I don't know if you just heard that recently, but somebody just trying to get their little foot in the door, but they not rooted in nothing. Like they have an unstable foundation. If you look closely at that ladder that he's on, that shit it's gonna topple. In the background, you kind of already see that the landscape is not level. So if you got a ladder out there on this unlevel ground, you already off your center point of balance. So you could have people right now just showing up imbalanced, and imbalanced and or fraudulent and or incapable. It is, I'm getting the energy of somebody around you. They don't even know how they can approach you with a regular conversation. So the only conversation starters they have is to find a problem with something. Oh, you see how they did? Da, 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 da. Or, or is your stuff messing up too? Because mine is, they wouldn't have a common point, a common ground with you if they cannot focus on something that is not functioning the way that it should. That is very specific energy, but it's applying so specifically. So you would understand what I mean if this reading is actually for you. And that's kind of like an impatient spirit on their end. They haven't had the patience with themselves to do the spiritual work but they still want to be a part of whatever it is that you got going on. But there's like these energetic interferences happening right now that come from a higher realm. If you are having, if it seems like things are just tough for you to get through, or there's some type of interference, or you playing phone tag and you can never get on the phone with somebody, or stuff like that, that's an energetic interference. That's divine intervention. Like, it ain't meant for you. If it, at this point in time, if you're not like sliding in easy into something, and I'm not a person who believes in it having everything easy. I'm not an instant gratification person. But at this time, Libra season, this Libra new moon energy, if something is not, easy, if it's not free flowing, if it's a whole lot of like interferences and a whole bunch of like obstacles and stuff to be able to connect with the person, that's a sign from divine that that's not a person you need to connect with at all, because it's really an energy of they need you more than you need them. You have these spiritual boundaries already set up, and only you can fuck yourself up. Only you can open that door. And y'all already know, I've never seen the movie Sinners. I'm one of the few people who haven't seen it yet. But you know the vampire lore. You let them in. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to request permission to be let in, to be able to, suck from you, siphon from you. And that's kind of what we're having here, like people in a state of desperation and trying to find any kind of way possible to be able to reach out to you. And some may do it by low life means, like thinking that maybe they can corner you and press you in that kind of way. That energy of pressing things. So if you're traveling right now, don't be surprised if you run into those people who think you need to like check in with them. Don't own damn building on the block. Don't do nothing for the community, but tear it down, but think you need to check in with them. And it doesn't have to be that specifically. It could just be people like in your own 3D reality, co-workers who think you need to go through them to excel in your career. Family members who think you need their permission to go off in the world and be prosperous. It can even go all the way down to, folks putting roots on you because they want you to always include them in whatever it is. Like, they want to attach a root to you. And all of these things are being checked right now by divine, because, the Most High ain't allowing no mere mortal to get in their way. Like, that's what we don't do. And yes, I speak from the position of an ascended master alchemist. We not allowing no mere motherfucker who ain't done no spiritual work to get in the way of nothing we got going on. And before I started the reading, I kept hearing, closer to my dreams. It's like, sometimes I feel like I'll never go past here. Sometimes I feel like I'm stuck forever. So you may be in a position right now where it's like, it's hard to see a way out, but spirit is providing you that avenue. If you on divine timing, you're getting that avenue, or you're receiving that communication with a higher realm, with your higher self, with the Most High. That's allowing you to move in a way that other people may not be familiar with. You may be in a position right now where everyone else around you, it seems like they're content with what's going on, or they're downtrodden and they're just allowing their circumstances to swallow them up, while you're the one who just keep on moving, keep on building. And it's something that you're creating that has your focus. So they may look at you like you're in a state of impatience because you're moving so quickly in an environment where people maybe don't move so quickly. Maybe you're from the South or something where, people talk a little slower, shit move a little slower. Or maybe you're not in the South, but you just live like in a rural environment where it's not like the city where it's always go, 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 motion, motion, motion. Maybe you're around people who don't mind moseying their way through town in that beat up pickup truck driving under the speed limit. It's something about people who drive under the speed limit that's like agitating the fuck out of somebody right now. It's a very specific energy. But this energy is like purpose. You're so focused. This is the third eye position with the 8 of coins. It's like you know exactly what you're moving to. So you really ain't got time to entertain none of that extra shit. And people can sense this on you. That's why you may have folks like reaching out to you, texting you, drunk texting you, approaching you with like little small time petty shit. Like, oh, did you see her? Like, trying to find a common ground. But the only common ground that they know how to find is something that is conflictual, something that involves, lack, or speaking out of necessity, or they may want you to speak out of necessity. Let's say you are in like a smaller environment or a less slow, less fruitful, less productive environment, and somebody is expecting you to reach out to them because they think you're in such a state of need that, oh, okay, well, they don't slow down. They're not living that fast life no more. Now they can just talk to me. And it's like, no, I still got big shit popping. Like, just because you don't see it, just because it don't look like it in this environment, don't mean that by next week I can't be on a flight somewhere about this motherfucker. Like, you're so focused. There's heavy focus right now. And if you're not in connection with somebody who is just as focused as you, that's really not your soulmate. That's like one of those karmic twin flame energies trying to attach on to whatever you got going. And they just want to reroute your energy and feed it back to themselves. You need to be in that mother coins energy. This showed up in the throat chakra position. So everything you say right now needs to be focused in the direction of what it is that you're manifesting. It's like you really ain't got no time to just be sitting here shooting the shit with somebody who's sitting in place, and stuck in a karmic loop, ain't got shit going on. I'm getting somebody who is like somebody from your past who maybe overlooked you while you were actively doing the work, or they chose to, go after what was flashy, what was shiny. Everything that glitters ain't gold is what I just heard. They chose to go after something that was glitter while you were really digging for the gold. And I don't mean like you a gold digger. I mean you actually putting in the work like a miner. It may have started when you were young or underage, that miner. I'm thinking like gold mines, but minor is like, underage. So this is somebody who may have resurfaced in your life from a young age, from when you were a teenager, possibly a high school sweetheart or something like that. It's like wanting to reach out to you because they realizing, oh shit, they really got motion right now. Like there's only so much your, little hometown gonna do for you. There's only so much that your immediate comfort zone settings are gonna do for you. And that's that kind of rural setting. Like when you grow up in the city, it's like you kind of just learn to never rest on your laurels. You gotta always keep going. But when you grow up in, maybe suburban, upbringing, or in rural country, in the South type environments, a lot of times people develop dependencies on one another to be able to have what they have. So it's like a herd mentality. I'm also seeing like cattle and stuff out in the country. So maybe you have aspirations to buy your own land and have your own cattle and, gardens and shit like that. Or you just from that type of setting where you have to it's like one of those places where you need a car. That's like the best thing I can kind of equate it to, like one of those places where you need a car because it ain't really walkable. A lot of people look to move places now that are walkable because they want to have access to shit without having extra expenses for their access. But this is like one of those environments, like mother of coins. You may be like really far out in nature, or like, living out in the county or something like that, versus like, being in the city around the hustle and bustle. There's a lot of nature here. A lot of times, nature don't really be in the heart of the city like that. It be out somewhere more suburban, more rural. And people who kind of root themselves in those environments, when they see somebody who's moving quickly, they're like, oh shit, I want to catch on to them. But it's like, you can't ride my coattail because you too heavy. And if it's too many of y'all on my coattail, it's going to take me longer to get where I'm going. But you're so focused right now that you're really not trying to allow nobody into your energy if that's not where you're going. For those who are already in a sacred soulmate connection, you're already in union. It's like you and your partner are recognizing how you may have folks around you who don't mean y'all no good. Y'all are just good to be around. Like everybody want to go hang out with like Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody want to go hang out with Rihanna and Rocky. You could sit behind that motherfucking computer and do all that typing and post your little opinions all you want to. But if they invited you today to come to the rock party, your bitch ass gonna get up and go. So stop the bullshit. It's that type of energy. Like, and these are even people in that same line of thinking. These are even people who may have had so much to say about you and your person, may have had so much to say about you individually or about your person individually, may have had so many, projections, may have had so many negative connotations of the lifestyles that y'all have chosen to live. But when shit start moving, all of a sudden everybody want to hop on board. Then everybody want to jump on the bandwagon. And it's good to let them know that, baby, that train already left the station. If you wasn't the one who was already boarding with a ticket, if you ain't helped put in on this, man, then no, you don't have no guaranteed seat and you're not entitled to nothing. and trying to come at me at the last minute and open up these portals of conversation and open up all of this, these easements, these access ways into my energy is not going to work for you, because you don't have the patience, you don't have the grit, you don't have the persistence to do the work that I've been doing. So all you're going to do is slow me down, and we're not allowing no weak links to get added to the chain at this point in the game. It's too late in the game to add weak links to the chain. We're not doing that. And we definitely not allowing no chain snatchers around us like that. Like, we're not even playing them type of games. But in the heart position is the Fool. You're right on the precipice of something new. Like, if you haven't come into union with your soulmate, you're feeling their energy around you, you're seeing the signs, like, and you're walking on faith. This is like that walk on water. And sometimes when you in motion, when you fast enough, you can skedaddle over some areas that other people would drown in. It's like some people still sitting on the shore, like dipping their toe in, waiting in the water, and you fully submerged in that bitch, hitting laps, Michael Phelps style. You on your way, and somebody want to like hop on your back at the last minute. And we can't allow that, because the solar plexus position is the Four of Wands. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only person that's holding you down is if you need their weight to keep you centered. If this person is just standing up on this railway, you a little flimsy, the wind might blow you over. But if you got somebody of equal weight, a complementary partner there for you to kind of hold you down, to keep you solid, that's different. Because now the wind can't come and blow you along. Now you're sure-footed. It's a kind of awkward landscape, but you're sure-footed on this awkward landscape. And that goes back to that right here. These people who just want to, jump in at the last moment and hop on your, on your coattail. They on a ladder. They climbing the ladder. They trying to hurry up and get to the top. Trying to scale the building instead of just taking the stairs. In some desperate attempt that whatever they bring you is going to be dramatic enough, emotional enough, romantic enough, in order to entice you to break the seal on your standards and on your boundaries. But then there is this spiritual intervention here. Like, even if you did have a moment of backsliding and a moment of vulnerability where you just want to feel love, Spirit completely understands that. But what they not going to do is allow somebody who ain't in a real vibration of love to even touch you. Because remember, we talked about love is like, that's the floor now. I'm hearing Lauryn Hill, respect is just the minimum. Is people who respect you, that's just the minimum. You coming in and you speaking right to me now. You should have spoke like that to me. You should have spoke with some respect to me back then, when I was actually, on your level or in your timeline, when I was seeing you eye to eye. Now that I'm, upward and onward, don't try to hop on my coattail and then I'm looking behind like, what is that? The imagery of Jesus, like, who touched me? He felt somebody grab on his coattail, like, who touched me? If I could just grab, does somebody think if they can just grab the hem of your motherfucking garment, then they can go wherever you going? They can get some of your anointing. And that's still a lack energy. That's still a desperate energy. That's still a fearful energy. And it just can't go. Because now spirit is a part of that weighing. First and foremost, your intuition, that solar plexus energy, is being balanced by spirit. It's like, if you can't meet these energetic requirements, because that's really all spirit is, energy. When we talk about anything spiritual, it's energy. That means spirituality is really just science. It's really just physics. We have a whole bunch of different words and shit for it, but really it's all just science. Like, when you get into the higher maths and the higher sciences, all of that shit become metaphysical. You start to get into sacred geometry, and you start to get into quantum leaping and shit like that. Time travel and all of that. The higher you go up in the academics. So it's all just spirit, which is all just science. And it's energy. And if, you don't meet those energetic requirements, spirit ain't going to allow it to happen no way. If you really one of the ones who's been on your spiritual journey, if you really have been creating something, because this looks like an embryo to me. It could be an embryo. It could be a celestial body, like a planet or, a comet, something like that. But it's higher than just what we're used to on this, regular 3D plane. So somebody is way above the third dimension, like you in the 5D and up. Because you can't really just stop in the 4D. The 4D has always been there, but the 4D is alive now. So now even nature is telling on people, and nature is guiding you and helping you along. Nature is speaking, the mother of coins energy here in this throat chakra position. Like nature has a voice now. You'll be walking somewhere and you'll see a certain color feather, or you'll have a certain number of butterflies that's following you, or dogs will do something that they ain't done before. You'll see a different type of animal that you ain't never seen before. Over this weekend, I've seen the biggest cat. I don't think it was a Maine Coon, but I seen the biggest cat I've ever seen, and they was just grooming themselves right in front of the kitchen window, right in my line of view. If I go and wash any dish, if I go and wash my hands, if I go and wash out a pan so I can use it, I would have been looking right at this big ass cat grooming itself. And like even stuff like that be a message. It's like nature is speaking to you at this time, and you have to have the ear of discernment to hear. The problem with that is a lot of people allow distractions, so they're not able to fully connect with the thing that they've created in their Eight of Wands third eye vision, because you allowing lower vibrational energies to hop in your way and try to ride your coattail. The ones who not patient enough to find their own self-love. So how could they possibly love you? They don't love themselves enough to know high energy when they see it. They don't know high frequency when they see it. They don't know money when they see it. They don't know how to invest in people who have a good work ethic. All they know is, oh, such and such is on. They popular right now. Oh, that's trending. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go be just whoever. They always looking for the next get rich quick. They always looking for the next opportunity. Is like a lot of opportunists right now are in a very impatient nature because nothing is moving around them. I feel this energy of like a stillness, that rural energy or that suburban energy. You not with the motion. And then there's somebody who has that motion is just in them. It ain't even on them, it's in them. And people who don't have no motion, you don't even have to look like you have motion. You could look like you down and out right now, but if you got that hustle spirit about you, these people on a lower level, on a deeper frequency, they're gonna realize that and be like, oh, I need to attach to that. Let me align with that. It could include destiny swappers, but really it's that impatience. People who want instant gratification. NPCs do that. The non-player characters, they want instant gratification and they want exterior validation rather than doing the work to actually create something and depending on your intuition, which is like your spiritual energy, your inner self, doing the introspection to get you where you want to go. And those are the ones who are impatient right now, or they want to reach out to you and they want to, just approach you and just put themselves back in there and get their foot through a door. If I can get my foot through the door right here, back in the day they used to allow me to play with their time. So now that they moving on up, I'm gonna go see if they got a little bit more time I can play with. Is that type of energy. But spirit ain't allowing none of that shit. Because now that you are so deeply into your spiritual walk, your spiritual journey, spirit is the standard. The spirit is the metric. And if you don't weigh up, you got to move around. You can't be on this walk with this person, with this holy being, with this divine being, if you are not also deeply entrenched in the divine. And that is sparking some people to like maybe take that dip and maybe try to understand something new. But even if they're trying to learn something new, you far past that learning new shit. It's some people who pull up to this channel who ain't never heard nothing about none of these chakras I'm talking about. And then there's some people who know about all the other chakras that I don't talk about. It be levels to this shit. The thing is, like, the people who always want to jump on and ride your coattail be the ones who ain't done no work. They just want to pull up and be what's trendy, especially these days when spirituality is now a mainstream thing. It's just like back in the day before hip hop was mainstream. Like, did nobody want to touch it, or it was more reserved for the inner city culture, and those in the rural areas were still into like the blues or into soul or into funk and stuff like that. And then it became a time where now everybody, even folks who ain't never seen a hood a day in their life, now everybody want to sound like YB. You got these, little white kids. Look, I'm talking about real white kids, real European white, like from their origin place, white kids, trying to talk like YB, trying to sound like they really from motherfucking Baton Rouge or some shit like that. Like, it'd be too late. It'd be too late because at this point, like, you can just see it. You can see who's done the work. Like the line has been drawn. You can see who's really about their life and who really ain't. You can see who's really done the work, and you can see who really ain't. You can see who living like that. You can see who really ain't. And the ones who know that they ain't been doing no work, they know they ain't really living like that. They know they've been stuck in a place with no motion. They know they've been happy with living with no motion. They would get their motion from just running around talking shit about people, or being able to manipulate drama. I'm getting Jerry Springer. I'm saying Jerry Springer because I remember on the Jerry Springer show, it was always people from like West Bumplefuck, Alabama, or like Southwest Georgia, or goddamn Upper Mississippi, or some places you've never fucking heard of. It used to be people like that a lot on Jerry Springer, and that was the brunt of their motion. That was the most, action they had in that area, talking about other folks' personal business, versus the people who really be out building shit, the people who really be out, because now I'm seeing like skyscrapers, like really putting them building blocks together and creating new worlds for themselves. Minecraft may be relevant. Somebody's children are really into Minecraft. You're getting into Minecraft, or you're just interested in the mechanics of world building, or you're putting together the building blocks of learning how to master your own alchemy. That could be important for some people. In the sacral chakra position is the Ace of Coins. It's like you in a whole new mindset now. If you somebody who been doing the work, who been on the spiritual journey, you're not interested in what look good on paper. You're not interested in just having something that is the talk of the town. And you may quite possibly be the talk of the town right now. It might be a whole bunch of like less motion having motherfuckers like watching you. It could be people who, and that could be in a romantic way too. You could have a lot of people who not at all on your level, but they romantically interested in you because you're just interesting. That don't mean y'all have a connection though. There's just more for you. So don't get down in that sacral energy of just going for whatever someone presents to you, or just taking it just because it's offered to you. Don't get the big head because, I'm in this small town and all these dudes on me, or, I done went to this place that I've never been before, and these girls, they ain't never heard no man with no accent like me. Don't let that shit get to your head, because in a spiritual way, in a energetic way, these are just energies who haven't done the work, who don't have no motion, and they want to latch on to yours. So it's like it's kind of like a testing right now. Spirit gonna see, like, are you so desperate for that exterior validation that you'll allow, I go out to the suburbs, or, I'm in this rural town now. I just touched down, I moved from Miami to West Bumplefuck, wherever. Or, I motherfucking moved from Dallas, like me. I come from Dallas back to little South Georgia. And these guys who ain't never seen me before, it's like people know. I'm getting the energy of somebody like in a small town, or in a, a smaller place where people know each other. Like people went to school together, so they know faces. And you this new face, you got this new energy, you dress different, you speak different, you just on a whole different wave. And it's causing like the opposite sex, or whatever, sexuality you have, I don't care. But it's causing people that you, whatever sex or gender that you would be interested in, it's causing them to gravitate towards you. And a lot of people, like, they'll stop and they want your number, or they going out the way to like honk their horn and shit at you when you walking down the road. Don't allow that to get to your head, because it's not even about how you look on the outside. It's frequency, it's energy, it's vibration at this time. After this collective consciousness has been uplifted, looks don't really even mean that much no more. In the third eye chakra, you can see things that these other folks can't see. And the fact that they can't see what it is that you see should tell you that looks don't really mean shit. So be careful with people who just want to like lock you down just because it looked good on paper. I don't care if they are the mayor of this small town. That's like the basic level of somebody who was born and raised in the heart of New York City. The mayor of a small town is like a 11-year-old's consciousness in motherfucking New York City. And you got to understand these levels. So again, don't allow that egoic thing to put you in a place where you just gonna settle for something just because you're impatient for what it is that you've been building. Because the closer you get to what you've been building, the more people gonna try to come and hop in your way, because they want parts of whatever you building too. But these just coattail riders. If it ain't somebody who has just as much motion and who has just as much options as you. And I know that can be intimidating. In the root chakra, it's the 7 of baskets. It's like a whole buffet. You need to be looking for people the same way that you have created this magical existence for yourself where you can just manifest things, or where you are so spiritually in tune that you are seeing God's presence all around you in nature. And you are having these, divine timing opportunities present themselves for you. All of these doors are opening for you. You looking like a buffet. And these folks want all they can eat. You know what I'm saying? They want all they can take up off your ass, but only you can let them in. Versus if you still haven't done enough work, then yeah, you could be focusing on something and you're manifesting something, but all of these people are coming in. So now you're getting a big head about yourself. As soon as you start getting a little money, you think, oh, everybody want me. I'm the hottest thing out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I bet you do want to be with me because, don't nobody else have this accent like me. I'm hearing a Louisiana accent, like somebody from, Louisiana, especially with YB being so hot, Boozy being so famous at this time, Kevin Gates and shit like that. That Louisiana accent is hot. So that could be specifically, relevant to somebody. But you going into these other towns, and now I'm hearing Katrina, because when Katrina happened, a lot of people from Louisiana ended up in other places. And boy, they used to have a motherfucking pick of the litter. After Katrina, some people from Louisiana came to my city in South Georgia, and they had their motherfucking way. But, we was in high school back then, at least my age range. I'm sure it was different from adults at that time, but I can only speak from my experience. But, somebody coming from Miami, they be having a pick of litter. Just think back to high school. You get a new student from a different state. They sound different. They look different. They swag different. And you like, oh, yeah. I'm going to get this one. And all the girls and all the boys wanted that person. But at this big age and at this level of the spiritual journey that we're on right now, you can't allow that type of like exterior validation to drive you, because it ain't gonna do nothing but distract you. Them people gonna come and eat off all that food off your plate. And then if things don't go the way that they want it to go, then they'll start telling people, oh, they ain't shit. They sound good, or, they look good, but da-da-da-da. And before you know it, all of these folks who from this small town, they going to click back up together, and you on the outside. Now you feeling like you exiled. Now you feeling like the outcast. And they done ran off with your energy. They done took your complete mind off your focus. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to start all over again. You done lost momentum on your journey. Now you got to get back the momentum. And that could be what's happening for somebody right now. Maybe they lost momentum on their journey. They allowed somebody to distract them and they lost that momentum. And now they're having to do the work to pick it back up. So that could be a sense of impatience for you too. Now you snappy and shit. Now you getting into arguments with folks because you got a bad attitude, and that's stopping and stalling your journey even more, introducing even more conflict to you, because everything is energetic. So what you put out is what you get back. Stay focused. Keep your third eye on what it is that you're trying to build right now, because out of all the energies in these readings, the coins is the most. You need to be worried about, what's real, what's factual, what has proof, and what yields results. Some motherfucker from a slower pace, or somebody who ain't never bothered to do, because y'all can both grow up in a big city, but some people just don't care about stuff like this. Somebody who never cared about nothing spiritual, all they care about is, getting money, that gold digger energy, that red pill energy, that I'm a pimp a bitch energy. They gonna come and take what they can get off you. That's what's rooting the reading. Like people who, what's crowning is people who don't want to do the work. They just want the fast way. They want instant validation or instant gratification. And what's rooting it is that the all you can eat buffet. You pay one price and then you get all you can eat. This is that why buy the whole cow when you can just buy the milk, something like that. When the milk is free or something, like the cow giving itself up. And why one of them things is that type of energy, versus making people stand on business. Make them stand on G. Make them stand on G code, God code. Make them stand on spirituality. Make them show something. Let me see how you manifest. If you think you want to rumble with me, let me see something. Let me see you alchemize something. You want to say that you on the same level as me. You want to like destiny swap and kind of position yourself as my mirror. Let me see you, you know what I'm saying? Make that motherfucking trash can move. Something like that. Speak telepathically to me if we on the same motherfucking range. Otherwise, you on a ladder that's about to fall. Like you on shaky ground, acting like you know what you're talking about, and you don't know what you're talking about. Because people can spit any type of game to you. And when people are under pressure, when they're from a lack mentality, they'll say whatever they need to say. Like I said, some people, they'll figure out something to say. They will find a way to start a conversation. I was about to say competition, that too. They'll find a way to start a conversation and then a competition. If you let them in with that little bullshit, did you see what such and such? Trying to find common ground with you, or trying to find some type of conflict and thinking that you gonna join in on talking shit about somebody else with them, or whatever the case may be. Like it's like a desperate conversation starter topic. Something stupid. They should have cut that grass better. Don't you think they should? I don't give a fuck about that grass. So sorry, man. Like, in a real way, I don't mean to, like, kind of brush people off, but you really got to be in that energy of, like, brushing people off if they ain't really talking about nothing, if they ain't really got nothing going on. I'm not a small talk type of person, and that's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. Like, somebody you may have met may not be a small talk type of person. So you got to have something going. If you don't have actual life experience and you don't have nothing moving in your life, you can't even have a whole conversation with this type of person. It's just shit is of an upper echelon. There's a buffet here, but this can also be like somebody who got so many options that they don't have no interest in giving all of their focus to you. And when you start doing that work and you are manifesting and you are creating and world building, the things that you want out of life, you're not interested in nobody who also don't have that same set of options. I don't want to be with nobody who ain't got shit going. I'm not interested in being with no man who gonna sit at the house and play babysitter while I go out and get a bag. I'm not interested. Like, we need to be equally yoked. And that's kind of that sacred soulmate energy that's coming forth right now. Like, knowing the difference between somebody who want to ride your coattail and somebody who is equally yoked with you. Because together, y'all gonna create a feast. It's gonna be a smorgasbord of all the shit that y'all want. Everything that you like, he likes, shit y'all ain't tried, have tried, places y'all have been, ain't been. Like, it's unlimited. It's gonna be an all you can eat. It's gonna be a feast if y'all are actually on the same vibration. But if you're not on the same vibration, they ain't gonna do nothing but weigh you down. And sometimes you need a little proof for that. Don't get mad at somebody if you just getting to know them and they don't just off the bat automatically believe everything that you're saying. Don't allow nobody to have you in no state of having to explain what you bring to the table. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if they require a little bit more time to kind of get to know you and see what it is that you're actively manifesting, then allow them to have that. That's the thing about impatience here. Like, you can't be so quick to jump into a connection because, oh, I just want to be in love already. I just want to be married already. Well, that's a desperation. That desperation is rooted in an impatience because maybe you ain't done enough work on yourself. If you don't know how to wait, and if you don't know how to deny what ain't good for you, you ain't ready for no whirlwind romance because you'll just go for anything. If you one of them people who just go for anything, you can't go into the land of the living because we don't let that riffraff around a bit. We just don't. We just don't. Like the heaven and hell they tell you in church or whatever, it's not one thing where everybody go at once because everybody is different. Everybody is on their own different timeline. It's when you reach that place, then you reach that place. It was a thought going through my mind earlier. I'm trying to see if I can remember exactly how it was going. It was like some people are late. The only people who are late to the party are the people who can't get in. It's like you arrived too late. This is like, kind of the left behind talk. You late to the party. It was a whole spiritual, kickback and shit that was going on. You late to the party because you can't get in. But if you can get in, you ain't late. It don't matter what time you show up. If you have access, you get what I'm saying. You just got to kind of know. If you know, you know. It's one of those things. If you know, you know. And the ones who know, they gonna have proof that they know. Like, they're able to create abundance where there is nothing. It's like that master alchemist type of energy. They're able to create something from nothing. They're able to jumpstart and get into motion where it seems like there is no motion. Or they're even able to do things when they have people actively holding them down. They're still able to build some shit up. It's like you can't put nobody like this in a box. And you may right now be in a situation where you're surrounded by a lot of people who do live life in a box. And you're the only one who moving, you make your rounds in that bitch. You don't move in a box. You move with sacred geometry. You move cyclically in an upward spiral versus those who stay in a karmic loop or those who are spiraling downward. Don't be afraid to take a chance on things, on new things. Like, don't ever be afraid of another motherfucking man, another fucking woman. But at the same time, like, watch your step, know where you're going, know what it is. Like, it's a difference between knowing that you're on the precipice of something new versus you just out here doing any old thing just to occupy your time because you bored. Don't get like that, especially if you're in that period of waiting right now. A lot of us are in that period of waiting. You know, judgment having gone out earlier this year, Easter, Passover, the Pope, you know, laying his head to rest. And everything else has been like everybody, you know, having a number waiting to be called, is sitting in that waiting room. When your number is called, your heart weighed up, you either move into the land of the living, into this big beautiful party that is life, or you devolve and you have to go back and learn some lessons. And it's some people who are realizing that they haven't even done the work to get where it is that you've gotten, but they're impatient with the work process. They don't want to do the work again. It may be somebody older than you. It could be people older than you, but you realize they're so much less mature. I'm seeing NLE Chopper sitting at the table with, you know, other men in the Den of Kings. Not saying that NLE is, you know, so super enlightened, because that's really just a young person who don't know how to listen yet. I ain't see nothing wrong with what he was saying, but he don't know how to listen. He don't know how to interface with other people. He's a part of that energy I was just talking about. Like, you somewhere where everybody speak different, or, you know, you have different beliefs, your emotion different than everybody else's, but your ego will allow you to be held back because you so, you know, you so full of yourself, or you so into, well, you know, this is what I believe in, this is what I got going on. You sharing all your business, you telling all these people who don't mean you no well, who just looking for an easy lick, you telling them all your plans, you telling them all of what you got going on, so busy trying to prove yourself. And we don't do no complaining, we don't do no explaining. So that's just distractions. That's distractions too. And that's the energy we're in right now. Like, justice came up behind that 7 of baskets. So it's that equally yoked energy. We've been talking about that equally yoked energy for, you know, a few days now. Somebody who, they not holding you down, they cushioning your fall. Like, if you have to pick up the weight of somebody else, it's not like their weight is bringing you down. Their weight is keeping you steady. The weight is keeping you steady. Some people may have been moving too fast. You in that fast life, you doing too much, and you just, you know, all you want is the accolades and the praise. And, you know, you want, damn near want folks to worship you for the shit that you've done. And it's good that you've done this shit, but at the same time, you ain't nobody God. You the God of your own life. You ain't nobody else God. They don't need to worship you. They don't need to praise you. They don't need to kiss your ass for nothing, just because you did more than the next person did, when all of y'all live in a place where everybody moves slow. It's like the energy of somebody who may be living a little faster than the others in a place where everybody moves slow. You want everybody to kiss your ass because you got a little bit more going on than everybody else. And that little bit more that they got going on, they probably siphoning it off of somebody else, whether it be a relationship, or it be in a family, or it be a coworker. It's heavy gossip energy with that impatience and that blue chakra, like that blue throat chakra color. Heavy gossip energy. Also, like, a lot of constrictive energy, because the coins is associated with pentacles, which is associated with the devil card, associated with Capricorn or earth signs. Yeah. Somebody may have a little bit more than the next person, but they want other folks to kiss their ass about it. Or you're in that position where you feel like, well, I got more going on than these people, so they should kiss my ass. They should be bowing down. And you still got work to do, because it's still something that you ain't seen. Like, maybe you still ain't all the way there. And then there's the energy of those who realize that, no, I just need to stay focused on what I'm working on. I just need to go ahead and remove myself from everybody else coming around. You know, they used to something slower. They used to people, you know, kissing their ass because they got a little bit of money. I'm not the one to kiss ass. I'm the one to tell you the real. I'm going to tend to my business and keep it going. I'm going to keep my heart pure, light as a feather type shit with the fool, because this man does have wings and he don't carry much. Pack light, moving with the light as hard as a feather. And I'm going to wait for my person to reveal themselves. I'm going to wait for divine to bring in that sacred soulmate who is an equal to me, who they help keep me steady, even with a changing landscape. And, you know, the world we live in is changing so quickly. When things are volatile, I need somebody who's going to hold me down, period. So something about holding somebody down, keeping it I start keeping it tight, like waiting for someone, excuse me, that is, it's coming up here. Maybe you are waiting for someone, and I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all, because right here at the top of mine is impatience, and it's a lot of folks who don't know how to wait for somebody. They're just always looking for the next quick fix. I would warn against talking to people who just always have like a rotation of people, because that's a whole lot of spirits on that person, and you don't need nothing slowing you down from your vision right now. Again, you need to pack light and move with a heart light as a feather, because that's how you are going to manifest all of these options that you want for yourself. You probably are able to move a little more nimble than those who are like kind of heavy, flat-footed, from a place where everything moves slow, everybody drives slow. You're able to manifest a lot more options. You're able to see a lot more opportunity in things than some of these people will, just because your mind is moved different, or you've been on a spiritual journey enough where divine is showing you things that divine ain't showing them other folks. And it ain't for them to know. It ain't for you to gloat about it. That diplomacy of Libra energy, which is associated with justice, is here. But also a Venusian energy of having a lot of beautiful things, having, good foods and rich experiences, great music, loving relationships is right there. You're creating it for yourself, but you're going to have them folks who try to hop in the way first. They ain't did it for themselves, and they looking at you strolling into town like Johnny Lovely. You from a different place, you talk different, you dress different, your beliefs are different, and they was like, oh yeah, let me hop on this, let me cling to this, let me ride this train to wherever it's going. And divine is like, nah, no you're not, because your heart is not light enough to even be on here. Your shit got to be rerouted. Somebody may be undergoing like a rebranding right now. You may have made some changes in your physical, whether it's like losing weight, gaining weight, changing hair color, surgeries, whatever the case may be. I just heard sex change. Hey, not my business. I don't care. Whatever make you happy. As long as you ain't hurt nobody else, it's all good with me. But just make sure that you are dealing with people who are equally yoked. Don't let no people come around you. Oh, you done lost the weight, girl. You need to come to the club with us. Where was you when I was big? You know what I'm saying? What was my invite when I was, pushing 300? What was my invite then? Like, don't let nobody just come and see how you new and you doing things and you creating shit, and they can sense that newness on you. Don't let them come and just siphon all of that shit off you. You know who you are, and require people to show you proof that they got shit. They got motion too. Don't let nobody come and be no motherfucking, hanger on to what you got going on, because they definitely will. As a matter of fact, that's what most people do these days. It's a lot of consumers, people who just consume, take off other people. It's a lot less producers, very few producers who are actually doing something with all of this magic that God has placed in front of us. They do very little with the grace God has gave us. They don't have very much creative energy at all, versus you who you can see something, you can get an idea, and you actively go about a business of making this shit real, and planning out the dimensions in your mind, feeding life into it, and manifesting that shit. Your thoughts turn into forms. Other people's thoughts just turn into gossip, and y'all are not the same. Treat people as such. That's the reading.